Hello and welcome to Restore 2022. This is an opportunity for us to be reading together God's Word, to be growing in our understanding of who God is, and to live and worship Him. Today we are reading from 1 Samuel chapter 7 and 8. Distraught at the death of their fellow citizens, the rest of the people in Beth Shemesh follow the example of the Philistines and look for another city to send the ark. Kiriath Jearim, 15 miles away, accepts the ark. A man named Abinadab is to look after it. Actually, 20 years before the Israelites gain any sense of freedom from the Philistine oppression. But Samuel also comes into the picture here, and he senses that repentance is underway. So he challenges people to get rid of their idolatry, the Baals and the Ashereths, the gods of rain and agriculture, and the goddess of fertility, love, and war. So, and as we have seen in the book of Judges, this is kind of the nuances of the life of the people of Israel. They were too frequently flirting with idolatry. So, but also we see a moment here that is similar to Judges, where people stop doing what they're doing and they want to serve the Lord. And as I said earlier on, the focus here is on Samuel as well. He comes back into the book and he's fulfilling his duty, his calling as a prophet, teacher, priest, judge. And he is interacting with people to the point that they confess their sins, they turn their hearts to God, and they gather together and they show that they want to commit to God. And this gathering sends the wrong message to the Philistines. And in one sense, it's kind of becomes a threat because they think they've gathered for military reasons. So they attack them. And in the back of their repentant attitude, God steps in after Samuel prays for them and does the sacrifices of burnt offering. God is being true to his promises and provides miraculously a thunderstorm against the Philistines. And recognizing that this is the Lord's victory, Samuel sets up a stone as a monument and calls it Ebenezer, the stone of help. God is our help. He is the only one that we need. Remember, Ebenezer has been the site of Israel's last defeat in chapter 4:1, but now God is the one who's granted them the victory. And during this time of peace, Samuel travels to many towns in the tribe of Benjamin. He's serving as a judge, he's serving as a spiritual leader, fulfilling his calling. I said that a bit earlier as well. But Samuel's sons, sadly, are not fulfilling their calling as they serve as judges. The commentators are split here whether it was Samuel's responsibility for his poor parenting or not in this. But the author here is silent about Samuel's parenting, whereas actually for Eli's, he's not in the beginning of the book. The people would probably have not pushed for a king at this stage had Samuel's sons followed on the footstep of their father. Although Joel meant Yahweh is God and Abijah meant my divine father is Yahweh, these guys disregarded Yahweh, and therefore they are disqualified from the leadership in Israel because they totally disobeyed the law. But why do they demand a king? What is the author of 1 Samuel trying to pick on here? Maybe he is trying to bring to our attention that actually the source of the true power here shifts. The Israelites have been under the hand of the Philistines, and now the hand of God has released them, has delivered them from the hand of Philistines. It's as if he's giving us his opinion that actually Israelites don't need a king, but they demand one. And they demand one when Samuel is in his old age. And actually, yes, there is that motivation, part of the fact that Samuel's sons were not like him. But here we also see that there are deeper motives. And although Samuel takes this as an offense, personal offense, God shows in his scriptures that actually there are deeper things going on here. They wanted to be like the other nations, with a king to lead them, to go before them and fight for them in their battles. They've just won a battle. They've just done Ebenezer. Actually, God pointed out that this is nothing to do with rejecting Samuel as their judge, but they're rejecting God here, because actually it was God that had brought them out of Egypt. It was God who had given them the victory in Mizpah. To ask for a human ruler shows really arrogance and independence. They don't rely on the Lord. And Samuel shows them all the drawbacks of having a human ruler, but Israel insists. They want a king. So God says to Samuel, listen to them. Find for Israel a king. Now, 1 Samuel 8 is very significant among the historical books of the Old Testament, because here we've got the transition. This is that kind of link chapter between judgeship that is just finished to a kingship in the ancient Israel. And what happens with the king, we're going to find out tomorrow as we read chapters 9 and 10.